Hello friends, myself Professor Shubhangi Ingale. Today we see the session about the A Priori algorithm, that unit number 3, association rule and regression. Now, in the previous lecture, we already taught what is the association rule, what is the definitions of the rule, what is the database with the 5 transactions and the items, frequent item lattice. Now, we'll start with the next lecture about the A priori algorithm. What is meant by the A priori algorithm? Okay, so some points are given here. So, I am explaining one by one what is given in the slide. So, let's start the session. Okay, now in the first point, the frequent item set is given, database and extending is given, highlights the general trends in the database containing the transactions, item set and C, that is the threshold, bottom up and breadth first search and hash tree. Now let's describing the first point, that is the frequent item sets. The A priori algorithm is for the frequent item sets mining, frequent item set mining, and association rule learning over the transactional databases. So this is for the frequent item sets. Now moving to the next point, that is the database and extending. So it is proceed by identifying the frequent item sets in the database and extending them into the large and larger item sets, as long as those item sets are appear sufficiently often in the database. So it must be appear sufficiently the often in the database. Now moving to the third point, the frequent item sets is determined by A priori can be used to determine association rule which highlights the journal traits in the database. This has applications in the domain such as the market basket analysis. The market basket analysis we already taught in the previous lecture, lecture number 1 series, that is the what is meant by the market basket analysis. So we are moving to the next point, that is the database containing the transactions. Transaction, for example, collections of the item brought by the customers, that is nothing but the database containing the transactions. Okay, now each transaction is seen as set of the items or item sets, given that C indicate the threshold. The A priori algorithm identifies the item sets which are subset of at least C transactions in the database, that is the C is nothing but the threshold. The A priori algorithm identifies the item sets which are subset of at least C transactions in the database. Now moving to the next point, that is the bottom up. A priori algorithm uses bottom up approach. A priori algorithm uses the bottom up approach where the frequent subsets are extended one item at a time. So the frequent item sets are extended one atom at a time. So in this step we can generate the candidate generations, and group of candidates are testing against the data. So what is the candidate rule that we'll see in this lecture? What is how we are calculate the candidate rule, how we are considering the frequent item sets, and what is the result for the association rule. Okay, now let's moving to the next point, that is the breadth first and the hash tree. So A priori algorithm uses breadth first search and hash tree structure to count the candidate item sets. That's why the A priori algorithm uses the breadth first search and the hash tree. Okay, now let's start with one example. So the what is given in front of you, that is the example 1. Alpha, beta and epsilon and theta, these things are given in front of you. Consider this database where each row is transaction and each cell is an individual items of the transaction. So what we are given here, alpha alpha alpha, beta beta beta, epsilon and theta. So epsilon is occurred 2 times, that is nothing but the 50%. Theta is occurred the 2 times, that is nothing but the 50%. So this beta will be occurred 100%, this alpha will be occurred 100%. Okay, the association rule that can determines from which database. Okay, so first it will find out 100% of the sets with the alpha, 100% of the sets with the alpha also contain beta. Okay, and next is what, 50% set of alpha, beta and also have the epsilon. 50% of the alpha, beta and epsilon. So alpha, beta and epsilon will be repeated the 2 times. So what is indicate that, that is nothing but the 50% of the set with the alpha, beta and also having the epsilon. So in the next, what is indicate, 50% of alpha, beta and also theta. So the same for the epsilon भी occur हो रहा है, तो theta will be occur हो रहा है 2 times के लिए. So what indicates the alpha 50% set with the alpha, beta and theta. So this will be a 50% and this will be a 50%. Okay, now this is for the association rule. So what we can illustrate this through a variety of the association rule, example of the association. Okay, now let's start with the one example. So this, consider the transactions of the item sets. Okay, so what is given in front of you, 1 2 3 and 4, these are nothing but the item sets. So in the second row, what we are having, the 1 2 and 4 transactions, 1 and 2, 2 3 and 4, 2 3, 3 4 and 2 4. Okay, this is the your database, database of the transactions. Okay, so this is nothing but the database of the transactions containing the following item sets. So we will use the A Priori algorithm determines the frequent item sets. So what you are having only 4 numbers. So 1, 2 and 3. Our first step is to find out the frequent item sets of this database. So, and to do this, we will say that the item set is a frequent. We can say the item set is a frequent if it appear at least 3 transactions of the database. So our the value of the 3 is the support threshold. So what it indicates, अगर support 3 होगा और 3 से भी ज़्यादा होगा, then we are considering that is to be a good one. Okay, so let's start with the frequent item set of the step number 1. Okay, so 1 will be occurred 3 times. Okay, बच गया, ये 3 time occur हो रहा है. ठीक है, so according to the our rule is it is satisfying the condition. The value 3 is the support threshold. Now value item set for the 2, it will be occur 6 times. Okay, this will be, ये भी बच गया. So 3 will be occur 4 times and 4 will be occur 5 times. So all the 1 2 3 and 4 are valid in the first step. So first step A priori is to count the number of occurrence called the support and each of the member items separately. By scanning the database for the first time, we obtain this result. Okay, so now moving to the step number 2. So in the step number 2, what we are finding out, we are finding out the pairs. Okay, all सब कुछ in the previous slide में frequent item set all are satisfying the condition, that is the support number 3. Okay, minimum support is a 3 भी रहेगा और उसके 3 आगे की भी चलेगा, 3 से कम होगा तो it will be deleted. Okay, so now we didn't get anything, so in the step we are moving to the step number 2. तो step number 2 में हम लोग क्या find out कर रहे हैं, we are finding with the pairs. So finding with the pairs, that is 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 2 and 4 and 3 and 4. This is nothing but the our pair values. And when the pair of the 1 and 2, how many times 1 and 2 will be occur in the previous table. Okay, अपना जो पहले का टेबल था ना, 1 and 2 कितने बार occur हो चुका है, 1 and 2 will be occur Okay, I'll show with some uh, okay. So how many times 1 and 2 will be occur? 1 and 2 will be occur. 1 and 2, so it satisfied the condition. Bach gaya 1 and 2, it will be occur at the 3 times. Okay, so moving to the next. So how for the so 1 and 2 will be occur 3 time. Okay, so 1 and 3 will be occur 1 time, 1 and 4 will be occur 2 time, 2 and 3 will be occur 3 time, 2 and 4 will be occur 4 time, and 3 and 4 will be occur 3 times. So what does pair indicate? लेकिन अपना पेयर क्या कहता है, इफ इट इज टू बी अ 3 और मोर देन 3 होना चाहिए, सो वी कैन कंसिडर. सो 1 and 3 having the less threshold. So 1 and 3, 1 and 4 also having the less threshold, because this is not satisfying the condition for the support कितना होना चाहिए, 3 and more than 3 होना चाहिए. So 1 and this will be the deleted. Okay, so this will be the deleted, and this will be the 3 3 4 and 3. This will be the consider. Okay, now moving to the next one. Okay, get it everyone? So if the threshold is, the support threshold is less than 3, so it will be deleted. So now in the next step we are having the triplets. In this example there are no frequent triplets. So 2 3 and 4, what we get at 2 3 4, we are having the support 2. So is it this valid? No, this is not valid. So because it is not satisfying the condition of the support 3, so it is not satisfying the condition of the support 3. So again this will be the invalid. So there are no frequent triplets. Okay, the 2 3 and 4 is below minimum threshold. So this is again the below minimum threshold, and other triplets were excluded because they were super subset of pair that were already below the threshold. So again we get the what the so we have determined the frequent set of the items in the database, and illustrate how some items were not counted because of their subsets are already known to below the threshold. So support below threshold hoga to it will be not considered. So it is getting everyone what is the given in the database, and how we are finding the frequent item set. In the second step what we are finding the pairs, and in the third subset we are finding the triplets. So again that is not satisfying the condition. So okay, have a nice day. Thanks for watching this video. Okay, have a nice day.